watching the bike.
Welcome
Why?
back.
Sorry, watching the bike.
Craig's irking me now. Mom!
Yeah.
All right, Super Sports Saturday continues. We're just jabbering about the Twins and Vikings and all of that. Tom Uvis is here to talk about the Otter girls swimming and diving team. Tom, good morning. Let's talk about that triangular. And you placed second behind Detroit Lakes and then Moorhead, I believe.
Behind Moorhead.
Was it Moorhead first?
Right.
I don't know. Is it golf or is it swimming? I
Cross country is the low score.
Okay, no. So Moorhead wins, but see, usually you put the winning score first, not the losing score.
Yeah, that's a glitch in the system, I think.
Sure it is. Yeah,
it's not ready to handle those triangulars.
Anyway, you placed second, just behind Moorhead.
Yeah, it's an interesting meet. The way it works is that you're allowed each team's allowed 3 swimmers to score, and then you basically score 9 places. And so 9th place gets 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between first and second is 2 points. And so we hung in there pretty solid. And what I was most impressed about, and this is what we were talking about our girls, because we were kind of really looking to the future. You know, we have, because our season will be longer than that. Our sections won't be till mid-November. We're always kind of thinking down the road, well, how can we grow as a racing team? I mean, competing-wise, how can you improve in competition? And we had a great meet. We had 23 best times in that meet. We saw a lot of things. We moved a few kids around because we're missing Taylor Monk that night. She had a church activity which took precedence. But anyway, and it worked out great. Like when we put, for example, Katie Ganola, I believe in the 100 fly, and we moved her around a little bit. I think we had Susie Kitzman and the 100 free. And we made some actually in the 500 was Susie. So we just moved people around but we put Heidi Buzak in the 100 breaststroke, and that's a treat for her. She loves that stroke. She swims the 50 and 100, and that's probably what she'll swim for sections and state. But she swam a 107 100 breaststroke, and that's less than 1 second from our pool record by a girl from North.
Wow.
And that was pretty impressive. This girl doesn't swim a lot that particular event, so it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch and move kids around a little bit too, because it gives them a chance to explore, and we're really big into the opportunities there. That you may think that this is your event, and all of a sudden discover that I could probably do this other event and be just as good or maybe even better. So we're always looking for how individuals can have success.
I was going to ask you, when you train these girls, do you train them in a specific stroke and focus on that, or do you want well-rounded swimmers?
Well, that's a great question. We on Monday mornings we do a specific stroke training.
Mm-hmm.
Last night we did individual medley. That's where we do all 4 strokes, and we're really big into that. We try to get one third of our practices are individual medley, 1/3 is kicking, and 1/3 is called stroke race work. So that's kind of how we do it. So it's like if, Jeff, let's just say you're a backstroker, you're only going to be swimming backstroke about 1/3 for the whole week, because you'll be also doing butterfly and some other strokes just to get you ready for the backstroke. So turn-wise, we're pretty specific on that. But again, there's a couple of reasons we do that. One is that we don't have any injuries, because if you do the repetitive action of backstroke or freestyle all the time, or even the whip kick and the breaststroke, that can really cause injuries. So we're really big into cross-training within the pool.
Mm-hmm. Abby Fisher seems to be coming on for you, Tom, and really doing a good job in her relays and the individual event.
Right. Her 100 backstroke Thursday was really exceptional against Brainerd. She swam a great time there. She also swam a great IM. She also had a very good, as you said, relays. Another person who's really shined is Danny Ross. Thursday in the 200 free relay, we were hoping to take second place against Brainerd. We just didn't want them one to us. Well, we won that relay, and Danny had a fantastic finish, and she anchored it. She's an 8th grader, so we're really pleased with how they've developed very well.
And she had to make up some ground there, didn't she, in that last leg?
She did, yeah. She was a really amazing race. It was fun to watch. She had a great finish. I mean, she actually didn't catch up to the person until about 1 yard before the end of the pool, and then her finish was just stellar.
In that match or meet on Thursday, Brainerd beat you 102-83, but you had 9 first-place finishes, and I guess that speaks to Brainerd's depth a little bit too, doesn't it?
Well, we knew that was going to happen. We had pre-scored the meet, and we did everything we could to win that meet. I mean, we moved people in positions where if we could have taken, just to show you what's unique about this sport, and I compliment Brainerd. I think depth is great. we score 5 places in a race. The 5th place sometimes is very important to the first. Not that the first place is important, don't get me wrong, but the 5th place is very important, and they got a lot of 5th place off us. One of the events that we outscored them in was the 100 breaststroke, which is our last event individually, where we took a 1st, 2nd, and 5th. That was huge for us because we scored 11 points in that event, and Brainerd just scored 5. So, we got a +6 on that. So every time there's an event, I'm doing a little math here trying to figure out plus or minus where we are. So
tell me about that strategy, though, as you guys were within 9, according to the story. You split up your 400 free relay, hoping to go 1-2. Didn't work out, but a risky thing to do.
Well, it's high school. I mean, you got to go for the win.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I mean, so what are you going to do? You can take, first and lose by 5 points? I mean, what's the point of that?
Right.
So we had to do that. It was a big risk. But I'll tell you where we won on that one. We won because we got to see the splits of these other 4 girls who were on our second A relay, and see how do you perform when you're in the center stage. And those kids all dropped a 2nd in the splits. And see, now that's important to us because we may have to do this again against Sartell or maybe some other mates. You never know. So at least we know what we can do there, and it's kind of reassuring to them that they can really step up to the block and do it.
Absolutely.
And you should be competing today according to the original schedule, but change of schedule kind of kept you out of that Minneapolis South invitation.
And it's too bad, and I really mean that because we do like to go there, and it's a good venue. But again, the trick is to get to the University of Minnesota Aquatic Center, and this year, I guess it's all sandwiched away. So we could have gone on a Friday afternoon, but we just don't want to make the trip. I mean, it's just, plus I don't get the kids out of school for that and so on. We have to not. We hope next year we can go. They're hoping that they can invite also. I'd like to also mention Mike Hartwell, our diving coach with Rachel Appert. I mean, Rachel Appert, the only thing that's holding her back right now is the degree of difficulty. But her required dive, she's saying 6.5s and 7s, which are absolutely phenomenal. She did very well, of course, in the triangular meet, and then against Brainerd, she actually, when she gets some difficulty up there, she'll be right with the Brainerd divers, which is a real compliment for her. So she's doing very well.
And this week you have Alexandria Thursday, and then the Otter Invite on Saturday. Take us through those 2 events.
Well, Alexandria, of course, is an away meet. They're down just a little bit, so it'll be a good meet for us. And the Otter Invite is going to be a smaller invite that we had before. We have Washington coming in visitation. We're hoping to get a few more teams in there. One of the problems we have is a conflict with schedule because of the Boston Invite the same weekend, so that takes everyone north of us. And then, of course, it's hard for teams to travel in here, but we're hoping to recruit for that. But visitations coming in, that's Nathan and Naomi Linscheid, or I forgot Naomi's main name, but anyway, it's kind of a neat meet for us, and so it's good to see the Linscheids. Visitation is still a very good team. I was supposedly the favorite in the meet, but I think that we'll have a great opportunity racing with them.
Outstanding. We'll look forward to that. It's always a fun day at that Otter Invite.
Yeah, what's really neat about that invite, by the way, is open entry. So we will have all of our 7th through 12th graders swimming in, and it's more like a family affair.
All right, that starts at 10:30 with the
10:30 with diving, I think, and then we have the swimming starting about 1:30, and be just a nice manageable meet.
All right, and that turns calendar to October, too, that Otter Invite. So I know.
How quickly?
I like to talk about Sophie Carlson had just a fantastic week this in competition. Backstroke, she swam that on Tuesday, and then she did just a really good job on the 100 freestyle. So we can't say enough about these kids.
Fun to see you be able to move so many kids around at different events, and see how they respond. And they do respond.
Yeah, they do.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. We'll see you later this week. Tom Uvis of the Otter Girls Swimming and Diving team with us on our Super Sports Saturday. We're talking some football and some volleyball here in the next half hour, so stay with us. We'll return with more from the Minnesota Motor Company after this.